completed with Christmas decor. So exterior, every time I've tried to get up there, it's been raining, and I am not getting on this roof in the rain.
Heck no.
Our living room tree is out of the attic and downstairs, but I refuse to put it up until at least Friday.
Oh boy, stay strong. Stand firm.
I mean, what can you do, man? You know, I had principles, but yeah, make my wife happy. So, you know, we got the whole squad coming in town tomorrow. Yeah, I got some stuff to talk about on this show. We had a disastrous family photo showing. Jeff, you tell me when you're ready to get this show started. Are we?
Sorry, I'm sharing them all.
That's my fault. I completely forgot to do that too. So here I go. Like it, share it, subscribe it.
By the way, 600 subscribers on YouTube, boys. Great job.
Congrats. I'm hoping, you think we can get to 10,000 Twitter followers by next week? We're gonna be at like 9,500 in the next day, I think.
It's close.
It's just weird.
500 in a week, that's a lot.
Twitter's weird, man.
We need like a viral moment. Stu, what's going on, brother?
Stu has got to be on.
Stu's in the live chat.
Cloud 9.
Anybody that just turned on the show from the Twitter, head over to YouTube. There's always a good live chat over there. If you're on Facebook, same thing. Head over to the YouTubes.
America, go to the YouTube.
America, go to the YouTube right now.
Right now.
Do it.
I bet you're pumped, Stu. Bet you're fired up. All the Fire Clark gentlemen.
Oh yeah,
very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Very quiet.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the Fire Helton crowd is louder than ever.
Crazy, man.
It's wild. Wild stuff.
Crazy too, dude. We gotta talk about that too on this. Remind me to talk about my trip to my second favorite borough.
Yeah, well, I hope you're going to give us a little trip review down to Statesboro.
Update, facility upgrades going on in Statesboro. Hung out with some local legends for the whole day, pretty much.
It's big time.
But you tell me when you're ready to start the show, Jeff, and we'll start the show, my friend.
Let's do
it. Get a swig here. Good evening and welcome in to the world's greatest Group of Five football podcast. We are the Group of Five guys. If you're new here, if you don't know who we are, our mission is to be the voice for the Group of Five football programs that the mainstream sports media absolutely will not do. Everybody that's listening, we need your help to do that. We need you to go to any of the social platforms, all of the social platforms. Follow us at Group of Five Guys. Go to YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your best podcasts. Subscribe to the channel. Give us a 5-star rating. Leave a review. Tell your family and friends all about us. Or you can go to groupof5guys.com and get you some Group of Five Guys swag. On this episode, final episode of the regular season, essentially, we're going to talk the remaining scenarios, a lot of tie-break scenarios in the American, in the Mountain West, and in the Sun Belt's got some stuff still to shake out. A lot of stuff happening. We're going to make a case for the New Year's Six for a couple of these teams that are still in it. Talk about my trip to Statesboro and plenty more. Hope you enjoy the show. Have you had it from somebody born and raised in Lafayette, Louisiana, at a tailgate? Doubt it.
Lee Corso is a guy who had a retirement party 10 years ago and yet he still won't leave the office.
Projected getting drafted between the first and third round. Like, that's incredible. The wide receivers are absolutely stacked for the group of 5.
I said Michael Pratt has got to show up and play, and boy did he. 394 yards, 4 touchdowns, 48 rushing yards on the ground, and another touchdown.
I really appreciate you do for the group of 5 programs, and I think it's great. I think we should get more of this, but you guys are on the forefront of this. And
so I'm thankful for this. I'm glad that you're talking about the group of 5 because I think they get overlooked.
But it's a ton of fun to watch a guy go to the NFL from a Nevada or a Colorado State or a Middle Tennessee or an App State, and fans follow that kid.
I appreciate what you guys do, truthfully, covering the group of 5. Y'all said it earlier, but the Sun Belt to me is college football.
Boys, I got to tell you about my family photo activities that happened last Friday night. I mean, just a disaster. It can't, those things so let me give you a backstory. First of all, we have to use this woman who's apparently she photographed somebody on the Atlanta Braves, so she got viral. Well, naturally, she lives in my community, so we find her and we got to use her. So we got to pay the influencer price for this woman, number 1. Number 2, okay, she lives in the same city that I live in, okay? You guys know where I live. We're about 2 hours from Atlanta. So she decides on the venue for our pictures 2 hours away from where we both live up near Atlanta at some barn. Now, look, I don't know about y'all, but in South Georgia, there's a barn every 2 or 3 miles. So we drive up there 2 hours for this place, whatever. It's not a bad drive up there. We're all dressed up. It's a nice place. Take the pictures. Pictures go great. I mean, we probably had, I think she went over on us a little bit. I think we paid for the 30-minute session. I think we were with her for 45 minutes. She was great. Really good. The kids were, honestly, both kids were cooperating, which was phenomenal. Both of them napped on the way up, which is why
That's huge.
They were good. Well, now, as you can imagine, they napped on the way up. They did not nap on the way back. Also, keep in mind, we took these pictures at 4 p.m., meaning we were driving back through the lovely city of Atlanta right about approximately 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our youngest, 1-year-old, little Jace, was screaming the whole time. And that 2-hour drive on the way up was like a 3.5-hour drive on the way back. And you know how it is. If they're crying at the house, you just pick them up and they quit crying or whatever. You got multiple options. You give them some food, you give them a toy, whatever. I'm just trying to drive, dude. I'm freaking out because of the traffic, because I am a firm believer that bad traffic is the cause solely by one idiot that doesn't know how to merge properly. I believe that is the cause of traffic jams.
100%.
So I'm sitting there, stop and go traffic. We're thinking, in our mind, okay, it's 5 o'clock. We get home by, we kind of out of Atlanta by 6:30. We'll pick up some food. We'll be home by 7. We'll eat dinner at 7. Well, so now I'm hungry. I'm in traffic. Kids screaming right behind me. And all the while I'm thinking, I got to get up and do a show for the group of 5 guys. And then I got to drive again the next day to Statesboro. So, dude, it was just,
nothing worse than the kid just screaming in the car.
And I'm going to say, maybe this is a guy thing. Maybe it's just, I'm a piece of crap. But, dude, there's nothing, more triggering than that to me. My eye starts twitching. I have to, turn off any music because I can't, it's too much going on. You know what I'm saying? And then, my poor wife, she's trying to calm the baby down, so she's talking, and I'm just can anybody please shut up? But anyway, made it back, got up the next day, drove to my second favorite borough, Statesboro. I tell you what, man, I love that place.
Seems like you had a great time. Got to meet some NFL Freaking
Yeah, well,
stars out there.
Yeah, well, shout out to the collective they got going on there, Eagle Nation. Lenny B, that guy's something special, man. He's always got like, you want a great host, you know what I'm talking about? Like, that's the guy. So let me break it down for you guys. So this is the first time I've been there since their new indoor has been complete. So full 100 yards. It's the overhang type of thing like UAB's got or like some of them got. But they have now suites all along the outside of the indoor, and it's a tailgate suite. So it's just like, picture like a box in the stadium. You got a big couch, you got a bunch of chairs, you got your refrigerator, you got a couple TVs, you can stock it, whatever you want to do, food, drinks in the cooler, but also you can, walk around on the indoor. So keep in mind now for us, right? You got kids that you're thinking, we're going to be tailgating all day. I don't know if they can hang for 4 hours at tailgate. Well, there's an indoor football field they can play on. Want to take a nap? Plenty of room. And I think there's 30 suites around the field there. And I don't know this for a fact. I imagine it's over 10 grand a pop, for the season on them.
Yeah.
So you think about not only the atmosphere that you're creating, the revenue that you're generating, you also have to figure anybody that's paying for a suite at the tailgate's probably paying for a suite in the stadium too. So then, like I talked to a bunch of people about it because I'm watching these little kids run around on the football field, right? And then, fortunately for me, so Old Dominion quarterback Taylor Heineke was there with us. And then Georgia Southern former kicker Younghoe Koo was there with us. So they're in there. And like, now you got these little kids that are playing catch on Georgia Southern's football facility. They're getting to take a picture and meet NFL stars. So I'm talking to these guys. I'm like, man, these kids are going to remember this day for the rest of their life. And it's going to be the reason that when they're 18, 19, 20, they're Georgia Southern fans and they're not Georgia fans. Because think about when you were a kid. Like, think about like any time I got to stand on the field at a Dolphins game, or if I remember I saw Zach Thomas at Disney World when I was like 8 years old. Saw him. And my dad was like, that's Zach Thomas. And I was like, oh my God. And he like waved at us. That's it. And for that, he's my favorite player ever, just because of that moment right there. So like, you just imagine what these kids are thinking, and they're getting to take pictures with these guys, and they're getting, and even like for, not necessarily younger kids, but if you're not somebody that played at that level of football or has been around it, like being able to be a part of their facilities like that is pretty damn cool. So like you got people, they got the recruits in there, right? Like, so they got the recruits in there eating lunch or dinner or whatever around all these fans everywhere. I mean, just a big time. I mean, I don't know whose idea it was. It's the first one I've seen like that.
Yeah, it's smart. You're talking about maximizing, the use of it. That's just genius, especially when well, here's the other thing. They knew beforehand that they had some boosters that'd probably be interested in that. Because some schools probably can barely afford the indoor, let alone, have that and be able to probably sell them all out. But that's just, smart by them, because now you're getting a little bit more return on your investment.
That's right.
With that indoor. So
and being that it's not a fully enclosed indoor, like even though those people are in the suite or whatever, they're still a part of the rest of the tailgate, right? Like they're still in the same parking lot as everybody else. And then also, like, just talking to people, like, we only think of the money savings on the build and the construction of that facility versus a fully enclosed indoor. They were all like, you didn't even think about the plumbing and the HVAC to run to run HVAC in a building like that. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't get cold enough in this part of the country where you got to really worry about that. Yeah. But, it's probably 8 to 10 degrees cooler in the summer. And you can practice when it lightnings.
It's big time.
Unbelievable facility. And then both of those guys, Koo and Heineke, were super cool. I felt bad because we're walking down on the field and they're getting stopped every 10 seconds for pictures, and I'm just like I guess this is what people are talking about.
You
like,
get
why
in
you
there?
don't
Did you
want
take
to
a picture like when they're?
But no, dude. So it was actually funny. So we're watching. They're doing the Eagle Walk, and I'm standing right behind Younghoe Koo, and he's like dapping up all his buddies or whatever on the team, and I'm kind of just standing there, and like a bunch of people are like kind of like getting close, like waiting for their moment. Well, like there was like, I think it was like a father and son, like an older kid, maybe a teenage college age kid, was like, hey, like taps me on the shoulder. He's like, hey, is that the kicker for the Atlanta Falcons? And I was like, it is, yes. And then he like asks me, he goes, would you mind if we took a picture with him? I was like, yeah, I said, buddy, I don't give a shit. Why don't you ask him? And then they're like, oh, we thought you were like his security guard or whatever. I was like, oh, no, not at all. But then that was like the running joke the rest of the day because everybody was just stopping him. And he kept being like, dude, where are you? Where were you? But it was cool, man. And,
awesome.
and both of their like wives and girlfriends were cool with it. Like I was asking them, like, this has got to be annoying. Like, it's part of it. And then, we were saying like, you say yes and take 500 pictures, but the first time you say no to some kid and you look like an asshole. So you got to do it. But anyway, and then for the game, they just honestly poor showing by the Eagles. I mean, conference championship on the line and just an egg, honestly. Just sleepwalking kind of. Offense just looked really, really couldn't get anything going. Just didn't look good. Didn't look like the team that they've had at home all season. So they find themselves out of it. And then, Old Dominion, they look good. Old Dominion defense is good. You got to see Jason Henderson. Yeah. Dude, you know what's funny is he's yoked, but he's a little small actually. A little like he'll be that'll be his knock coming up, right? He's going to be undersized, especially for an interior guy. So we'll see. I'm not an NFL scout by any means, but he might be one of these kind of hybrid safety type guys. But he's a hell of a player, dude. He was everywhere. He really was everywhere around the ball. So anyway, that's my spiel, but that was definitely a surprising outcome from the weekend. But I know we got a bunch of surprising outcomes, Tip and Jeff. I'll go to you first. Tyler Tipton, most surprising outcome or storyline from the weekend?
It absolutely has to be the App State Mountaineers going to James Madison and beating them after College Game Day was there all week, after ESPN, all the big sports media were there at James Madison all week. And we briefly talked about it on Saturday. Just the amount of smack talk, the amount of trash talk that James Madison fans were throwing out there on national TV. And you could tell, I mean, App State came out ready to play in this game, and credit to them. I mean, they looked great. They played well, took it to overtime and win the game. Joey Aguilar, he throws for 318 yards, 3 touchdowns. Offense looked great. It's just, I think the timing of this, not only with College Game Day and ESPN and all them being there this week, but over the last few weeks, we've seen that, all the things of that they should be playing in the conference championship game. They should be playing in a bowl game. They're selling T-shirts saying that they're the Sun Belt Conference champions already. And they're one loss away from Coastal Carolina this week for being third place in the East Division. So if you bought one of those T-shirts, I hope you can get a refund.
Refund?
Tough break. Well, yeah, you said it, Tip. There.
Hold on. I just got to say something here. Just for the record, on our pregame show Saturday, just want everyone to know, I'm the only one that picked App State to win. I knew this was going to happen all along.
Congratulations, Jeff.
I knew it was going to happen all along. You guys were all in on the JMU Dukes. You thought they were going to go undefeated in the last game of the season.
Here's what I can say about this. Now I feel like I can objectively talk about James Madison. Now I have no bias. Now I can celebrate the success of a really good ball club without having this weight on my shoulders of a Twitter base that is one of the most annoying in all of the land. But you're right, Tip. They are now. You have a chance now in Sunbelt and Conference USA, by the way, that Coastal and New Mexico State could win their divisions outright. And it would be, there's no asterisks, No nothing. And I'll tell you who wants that more than anybody else, and that's Coastal. Because everybody thinks they have an asterisk over the COVID year there. So, and Troy, too, to be honest with you. I mean, Troy's rooting for that, too, probably, because they don't want the thing of, well, we lost to James Madison, and they should have been in it again. So, it's I mean, what a game, though. And
great
by
game.
the way, I did see somebody sharing, this was typical fashion, share the final overtime play as if they don't think that he got in. He was in by 1.5 yards.
Yeah,
I mean, his whole half of his body was in the end zone before he lost it. But anyway, great game. I'm just really glad we got to see it with spotty service on ESPN Plus. Really excited about that.
Yeah, and keep an eye out later in the week. Had our boy Sean
time.
Clark on for another episode of Inside Drill. He talks about that game, the atmosphere, and heading into a huge rivalry game this weekend.
Huge one. Well, I'm gonna go out to the Mountain West again. For me, surprising is Fresno State losing to the Lobos of New Mexico. What a weekend for the state of New Mexico, by the way. I mean, they put on a show. I mean, just absolute show for the state of New Mexico. But the Lobos get the win over Fresno, knocking them completely out of the race in the Mountain West. Shocking. And in the Mountain West, we are going to get something weird is going to happen this weekend with the tiebreakers. So look out for that. Jeff, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go with I'm staying in the state of New Mexico. The Aggies take down Auburn 31-10. And I'm not even going to say that I'm surprised. Like, this isn't even a surprising storyline to me. I mean, just a great performance. Again, Diego Pavia might be playing some of the best ball he's ever played in his entire life down the stretch the last few weeks. And this is exactly what you want to do heading into championship weekend. I know they got to take care of business this weekend. They're already in the championship game. But 201 yards, 3 touchdowns. And here's the stat that really surprised me. That Aggie defense held Auburn to 65 total rushing yards and only 213 total yards on the game. That's a hell of a performance against a Power 5
Now, wait
opponent.
a minute, Jeff. I was under the impression that if a team was in the SEC, that I thought Conference USA was so bad and they don't play anybody and they would be 500 in any other conference is what I was told.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody's been told across, the United States of America. And here's the thing. I'm so sick of this Conference USA, honestly, just hate towards them. I'm so tired of it. You got to go with what you see on the field. The eye test to me and the performance on the field is more important than anything else. And I think Conference USA is just not getting enough credit. And let me just go out on a limb here, because whenever an SEC team beats an ACC, Big 12, Big 10, it's SEC's just too good. But then anytime a Group of 5 team beats an SEC team, it's, that team is a bottom tier SEC team. Like, I'm confused because I don't know who's bottom tier, who's mid tier. Apparently there's an upper tier. I just wish somebody would come and let me know, because here you go. Auburn only lost to Georgia by 7. But on Twitter, Auburn's a bottom tier SEC team. And New Mexico State just beat them by 21. Tennessee gets smoked by Missouri 2 weeks ago by 29 points. Middle only loses to them by 4. Again, is Tennessee a bottom?
What's Missouri, number 9 right now?
Yeah, they're in the top 10.
Or 11 or something like that?
Yeah, I think they're close to the top 10. Yeah. So is Tennessee a bottom tier SEC team? I'm just trying to figure out what the tiers are. We know Vandy is. UNLV beat Vandy earlier in the season. Hell, Tulane almost beat Ole Miss with their backup quarterback in Kai Horton. So is Ole Miss a bottom tier? I know they end up winning that game, but then they get smoked 52-17 by Georgia. I just can't figure it out. And then Jacksonville State had South Carolina on the ropes, and then South Carolina, they only lose to Georgia by 10. So I'm just trying to, somebody please explain to me the tiers, who's in them, so I know when a Group of 5 team beats a bottom tier or a mid tier or an upper tier, we're all on the same page. I just want to know.
It changes week to week, Murph, and it's based on the narrative that the national media creates.
100%.
Stop the hate. Stop the hate for Conference USA. They're a lot better than people think. They're competitive in their own conference. I think that's why you see a lot of up and down between, week to week in Conference USA. Just stop it. Just stop it.
Well, Jeff, wait until Alabama beats Auburn by like 8, 9, or 10 this weekend, and it's a huge win.
Yep.
And watch Alabama creep their way into the top 4 of the playoff poll after that gigantic win. But New Mexico State is beating a bottom feeder team. I mean, Auburn's what are they, 6 and 5? I mean, they're average, but I'll give you the tiers. Are you ready for them, Jeff? Can I give you the tiers?
Please enlighten me.
Okay. Tier 1. Georgia Bulldogs, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State.
Maybe Washington
This year, Washington, maybe Oregon.
Maybe Florida State.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Tier 2, everybody else.
Thank you.
Well, now there is a tier 3, but I don't want to be negative about people. There are a couple of teams that are in that tier 3 now, and not all of them are in the group of 5. Let me just explain that also. But I mean,
Sprouse, you forgot Notre Dame and all those teams with the logos and stuff that are in the preseason top 10 every year.
I have something that I thought about right before we came on because I was watching a little bit of action, and I got to thinking, how ridiculous is it that the college football playoff release is happening while there's MAC games on? Because let me tell you, Toledo, they're not playing tonight. Could you imagine if Toledo's playing tonight and they're deciding whether or not to rank them? I know they didn't rank them, but it's like I don't expect them to, but they clearly don't watch every game. They watch the top 4 to 6 teams, and then they look at final scores and box scores and records, and then they judge it. And we've been saying it all the time, like you just said so eloquently, Jeff Murphy. It's like, yes, there's some teams that might be 4 and 7, 5 and 7 right now, but they're losing by a play here and a play there every week. And so it's like these teams are pretty evenly matched across the board, and sometimes the ball bounces a certain way.
Yep.
But, yeah, this narrative is just atrocious, which, by the way, speaking of the college football playoff poll, so Tulane was in there at 23, and the Liberty Flames were in there at 25. So here's where you're at to me right now. If Tulane wins out, I mean, I'm not saying this is how it should be, but this is how it's going to be. If Tulane wins out and wins the American, they're going to get the New Year's nod.
Yeah.
If they don't, and assuming Liberty wins out, you're going to get this Conference USA Liberty Flames team playing in a New Year's Bowl.
You should.
And you should.
But
you might get passed up.
You might get SMU might pass them if they beat
SMU's
Tulane.
not even ranked. So you're saying
they would beat a ranked Tulane team, and then SMU's going to the ACC
leapfrog
next year, right? So they'll want to get them. They're going to want to get them on the national.
So SMU, you think if SMU wins out, that they'll leapfrog Liberty, who's already ranked, and if
unfortunately, yes, I think Liberty deserves it, but in that scenario, yes.
But let me say this now, Tip. Let's play hypothetical. If New Mexico State beats Jacksonville State this weekend, that's a 10-win team. Now playing Liberty in the championship game. Now they're not going to be ranked in the playoff poll, but that's not going to be nearly as. I mean, that game is set up to be a freaking great game now. I mean, there's nobody playing better than New Mexico State.
They should value New Mexico State higher, but they won't. They won't.
No, they won't. Even though New Mexico State beat Auburn that bad, you don't think they will?
I think that they're going to say that Auburn's a
I
bottom tier
agree.
SEC. They're going to come up with an excuse to why New Mexico State's not as good as their record shows.
Dude, it's so
and then
that bad.
Yeah, it's
like
terrible.
All these schools you mentioned are quote bottom tier SEC schools, but then, and I'm not sitting here telling you that Georgia is not the best team in the country. They probably are, but then when they talk about a Georgia or an Alabama or somebody, they talk about this SEC gauntlet, but it's like, well, dude, if you played 4 or 5 teams that are quote bottom tier teams, then
is it really a gauntlet?
Then is it? I mean, I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying that Auburn and them are not bad teams. I'm just saying that New Mexico State's very good.
Yep.
Like, that's all it comes down to. But let's make a case here. So we've kind of made our case for Liberty, right? Undefeated. That's your case, right? I mean, if we can
I add one
if we
other
can make a
stat to
case
that?
for Michael Jordan being better than LeBron James because he's 6-0, we can make a case for the Liberty Flames being the best Group of 5 team because they're undefeated.
And not only that, Sprouse, they play who's on their schedule, right? But they have pretty much dominated everyone on their schedule. Yeah. Their average win margin is 19 points. That's their average.
But Jeff, they only beat Middle Tennessee by a touchdown.
Yeah, who lost to Missouri by 4.
Who played the teams that played Missouri the best was Middle Tennessee and Memphis.
Yeah.
I mean, other than Georgia. I mean, but all right. So we made our case for Liberty. So the American champ. So Tulane, obviously, but what? So Tip, you made a good point about SMU. What if it's UTSA?
They won't put. I'm sorry. Go for it, Tip.
No, I agree with you. I don't think they would put a UTSA American champion. I don't think they would leapfrog Liberty if Liberty stayed undefeated in that scenario.
Sprouse, we lose you?
Have myself on mute. Sorry about that. If Liberty loses, you probably go to the Mountain West champ then. If Liberty loses and UTSA wins the American, then I think you're going to have a Mountain West champ in. Probably whoever it is, because it'll only be a 1 or 2 loss team.
It depends who that team
I don't know.
is.
It depends.
Yeah, not if it's San Jose State.
That's what I'm saying. Just depends.
And probably not if it's Air Force, just because they have 2 awful losses.
Yeah. But if UNLV wins out,
UNLV should have a case.
11-2 record. Yeah.
Boise's not in. Boise's had too many losses. As much as they would love to have the Boise brand name in there, they got too many losses. They played terrible out of conference. Well, I think then after that, you probably have Sun Belt champion if it's Troy. You're not going to get App State or Coastal. I think they don't have. I think you'd get UTSA before you got one of them. But Troy, I think, would be ahead of UTSA.
Yeah, I would say they are. I mean, if they went out and they win the conference, they'll be what, 11-2?
2.
Mm-hmm. Or 11-2.
And UTSA has 3
with
losses.
A 3-point loss to the darlings of James Madison.
Yeah,
but they got smacked by Kansas State.
I was gonna say 29 points to Kansas State, but
but that's early in the year, Jeff. And if you're talking about the Missouri Tigers and Middle Tennessee, well, Missouri's a much better team now than they were in week 2.
It's very true. The only thing that hurts, I think, Troy, just a little bit, and it depends what the, committee, how high they view the Sun Belt, is a lot of the teams that Troy beat, especially that we thought were going to be good, like South Alabama, a lot of them have kind of fallen off down the stretch. Teams that that Troy's handled, like Texas State, you lost some bad games.
Yeah.
So I think that might hurt them in the long run.
But they'll be coming off a win against either a red-hot App State team or a relatively hot Coastal team who would be coming off of if it's Coastal, they're going to be coming off a win versus James Madison. But then, then they'll start talking about how James Madison's not as good as they thought. That's how that'll play out. And then there's just this little old team in the MAC, Jeff and Tip, sitting there with 1 point or 2-point loss to a Big Ten team who I will not a very good Big Ten team, but a team that has won Big Ten games this year and might be a bowl team this year in Illinois. And Toledo will have, if they stay where they're at, 2 wins over a very good Miami of Ohio team, who will be a 10-win team at the time. But I think Toledo would probably be below Troy. To be quite honest with you, I think we got it about spot on in our poll right now for how it should shake out.
Yeah,
I mean, Liberty, if they lose, well, you don't think Liberty can't pass Tulane. Not if Tulane keeps winning.
If Tulane wins out, I think
so.
they get it a lot, especially based off the resume from last year, the carryover from last year.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk about these scenarios then, because there's some weird. So the American's going to be weird. It could be weird. So you have Tulane at 7-0, SMU at 7-0, and UTSA at 7-0 in the conference. Tulane and UTSA play each other. SMU plays Navy. So if we assume SMU is going to beat Navy, then we'll get the winner of UTSA and Tulane. And I'm not entirely sure who will host. I'm guessing it'll be the highest ranked, which would be Tulane. If they win, it'll probably be SMU if UTSA wins. However, if somehow SMU loses to Navy, then you will get the winner of UTSA Tulane, and then you will go to a computer ranking. So I would imagine SMU, if that scenario happens, SMU will be coming off of a loss to Navy. And it'll be their third loss of the season, where the other team will be coming off of a loss to, UTSA be coming off a loss to Tulane. So then you could get a rematch back-to-back weeks with UTSA and Tulane. So there's some interesting.
And the winner of that game would host, correct?
If SMU loses, then winner of UTSA Tulane is hosting.
Yep.
Yeah. Because they'll be the only undefeated left.
Got it.
That would be a crazy scenario, because you'd be talking about, let's say, if SMU loses to Navy and Tulane beats UTSA, UTSA would have 4 losses at that point. SMU would have 3. So if it comes to that tiebreaker, that would be so interesting to see out of those two teams.
Yeah.
Are they going to let a 4-loss UTSA team in there that just came off of a loss to Tulane? Or are you going to put a 3-loss SMU team in there that just
came off a loss to Navy?
Navy, yeah.
So then, but then if you look at the body of work, I mean, UTSA lost to Army, they lost to
Houston and Tennessee, but
Tennessee.
But Frank Harris didn't play in that game.
Well,
yeah,
he didn't play.
I don't think he played in the Army game either.
3 weeks at the beginning of the season.
And then SMU will have lost to Oklahoma, TCU, and Navy.
He didn't play in the Army game either. Frank Harris did.
I would imagine that would end up being UTSA if it's based on computer stuff. I would think.
I think.
I don't know, man.
I think SMU. I think they handle business.
Yeah, they're gonna.
I think they beat Navy, and then you got the winner of Tulane UTSA is going to play.
Well, so you got UTSA at Tulane. That's a 3:30 Friday game on ABC. Ooh. So the loser of that game then is going to have to wait 24 hours and just be praying to whatever God they believe in, as hard as could possibly be, that Navy somehow beats SMU. But yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. So let's make picks. UTSA at Tulane Friday, ABC, 3:30 p.m. in New Orleans. Jeff, who you got?
I think a lot of this for me hinges on. I'm pulling it up here. I can get to it. Lawrence Keys is listed as. I can't find it. Hold on 1 second. Trying to find the injury report. All right. Lawrence Keys is listed as questionable with his foot. Jaquan Jackson is listed as questionable. Clayton Johnson questionable. So they're all like. I don't know. That's 3 good players, especially their 2 starting wide receivers who are listed as questionable. I would assume in the game of this magnitude that they're going to do whatever they can to get on the field. But if I'm having to go with the team that's hotter right now, I'm going to have to go with San Antonio. I'm going to have to go with the Roadrunners. I think that Frank Harris has been playing great ball the last couple weeks. I think that defense has been starting to show up. Trey Moore has been a problem. And if they don't have 2 of those, even one of those guys, I think it's hard for them to get, the ball pushed downfield on the outside. So give me the Roadrunners. Why not? Morgan's going to be pissed.
Is he on live right now?
Yeah, he is.
Tim, who you got?
He's saying Keys is out. That's what he's saying on the group chat.
This makes this so interesting. Tulane finally coming off a win against FAU that they won by more than single digits. But you're talking about 3 weeks prior to that, they beat Rice, a good Rice team, by 2 points. Beat East Carolina by 3 points. They beat Tulsa at home by only 2 points. I don't know. Something's not clicking right now with this Tulane team. I don't know what exactly it is. And UTSA is they're just playing better football right now. And I think it's gonna have to be a Frank Harris game. He's gonna have to show out similar to how he did last week. I mean, he doesn't have to put up those type of numbers, but he's gonna have to do well both throwing the ball and running the ball and not turn the ball over against this defense, to give Tulane's offense momentum and a chance to score, because we know they can put up points. I was fully prepared to pick Tulane in this game because they're at home, but these injuries are concerning to me. And Frank Harris is playing the best football of the season so far right now at the perfect time. Give me UTSA. Give me the Roadrunners on the road to win this game.
Preseason, I picked UTSA versus SMU in the American Conference Championship. And I have a chance to look like a genius right here. However, I'm seeing Jeff Traylor at all the media interviews. They keep asking him. About this Texas A&M business. That guy's going to have a nice Thanksgiving meal with his family on Thursday, a little final pregame meal right before he travels to New Orleans. And he's going to be talking about what he's going to accomplish in College Station. He's not going to be talking about his Roadrunners in New Orleans at Tulane. So although I picked UTSA versus SMU, I think that Tulane is going to be laser focused. I think they've been waiting for this game. I think that's part of the reason they've been playing the way they've been playing, is they figured they kind of had this in the bag. I think UTSA finally going to have some distractions. Give me the Wave. Close. Very close.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight game.
And I'm not confident. I would not take Tulane -3. Saturday, Navy at SMU. SMU, I think, is going to get it done. You guys think they do?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a noon game, ESPN2. Conference USA. Championship game's already set. New Mexico State going to Lynchburg, Virginia. And I know a couple other guys going to Lynchburg, Virginia at the same time. We announced on the socials. Dude, I ain't never been more excited to go to a game, to be fair. I mean, live pregame show from the tailgate, presented by a Sea of Red, presented by Ironclad Coffee, which, by the way, I can't wait to get some of that. I've been trying to change my ways, Jeff. I've been trying to wean off the energy drinks, only because they're so damn expensive. And we got a new early Christmas gift. We got a new coffee maker. It's pretty cool. They're pretty cool. I'm enjoying. I can set the coffee maker at night before I go to bed. And when I wake up, I smell the aroma. At 4:59 a.m., it just starts trickling into the pot. I wake up to it. Nothing like smelling that. And then you get the bacon going. So I'm excited to try some Ironclad Coffee when we get up there. And then also Jason Porter Realty. I know every time I go on a trip, I'm like looking at the houses. I'm thinking I could live here. So maybe I'll find a realtor when I'm up there too. But anyway, live show Friday from the tailgate. And then Thursday evening, we'll be at the Clubhouse Bar and Grill in Lynchburg. Looks like a sweet place. Looks like they got a bunch of pool tables, your standard American bar food, burgers, wings, all that kind of stuff. So we'll be there Thursday evening, hoping we can get some Liberty fans and some New Mexico State fans out there. Just come hang out. We're just going to hang out, chop it up, talk ball, play some pool. And then we'll be giving away 2 gift cards to the clubhouse. So you'll be eating free, basically. Doing 2 giveaways while we're there. But that game's already set. New Mexico State's got a chance to actually earn their spot legitimately, no asterisks, as they play Jacksonville State at home. And then Liberty just trying to keep their hopes alive for the New Year's 6. They're at UTEP. Jacksonville State at New Mexico State. New Mexico State 2-point favorites. Jeff, who you got?
New Mexico State. I think they get it done.
Tip?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, New Mexico State. Who would have thought? I'm sitting here looking at this right now. If they win this game, they're going to be 10-3.
Dark horse.
Going to this championship game. It's amazing. That's awesome. Shout out to
You
New
did have
Mexico
him.
State and Diego Pavia being more consistent this year. I love to see it.
He's gotten hot.
He has, and that's a coach that's be wondering if his name will start coming up. Not for these A&M, Mississippi State type
No.
jobs, but I saw where like Syracuse came open today or is gonna come open today. That's one that you could see somebody kind of unexpectedly go to. So with the job he's done there, I mean, I think we talked about it preseason about the two New Mexico schools being two of the hardest to be consistent winners at. So shout out there. And then Liberty, I think they're going to roll. I think they are going to keep rolling, and we'll be set up for a big time game on Friday, December 1. You guys both got the Flames?
Yep.
Yeah, I got the Flames in. They're favored by 17. They're going to cover that. They are going to try and score as many points as possible.
Yep. In Maction, I mean, that game's already set to Toledo versus Miami. Toledo, really the only team still playing for something with that outside New Year's chance. They are at Central Michigan Friday at noon. Give me Toledo. I mean, when did they lose to Illinois? Week 1?
It was early.
Week 1 or 2. And I mean, so they hadn't lost since. And I mean, Finn's playing pretty good. That defense is playing incredible. So give me the Rockets there. Mountain West. So here's what you got. I think I'm going to do this right. If UNLV wins, they host. If UNLV wins, then the other team will be the winner of Air Force Boise State. If UNLV loses, regardless of who wins between Air Force and Boise State, there will be a 3-way tie with 3 two-loss teams that all played and beat each other. So, you're going to get the friendly computers back in action. So, there's no telling. UNLV, you would think, with just having such a good overall record, if Air Force is coming off of a win against Boise State, you'd probably like their hopes because they started out so hot. At Boise State, they got the brand name. I don't know. They'll be coming off a big win. They've been playing pretty good lately. And then San Jose State, if they're the ones that beat UNLV, you'd like to think they'll get in because they'll have the UNLV win, but then they'll have the loss to Air Force.
But they had the Fresno State win.
Yeah, they
when
do.
They were ranked, I believe.
But Fresno ain't going to be in this conversation.
They were ranked when they beat them, though.
They were. I think if you're San Jose State, obviously you got to win.
Yeah.
I think you probably I don't know who you would root for. Yeah. Probably Boise State because they have the worst overall record out of the bunch.
Yeah.
So UNLV, it sucks for them because they're a game ahead of everybody. But if they could go from hosting the championship to not even being in it, if the computer rankings have anything to say. So this is a wild scenario. But so let's pick them. Air Force is at Boise State Friday, 4 p.m. FS1. Boise State 6-point favorites. Guys, I've been saying it for a couple weeks now. I had Boise State versus Air Force in the Mountain West Championship game. I have jumped off the Boise State bandwagon 3 times already this season. But I told you, what did I say like 3 weeks ago? This is what happens in the Mountain West. Boise State just looks god-awful all year long. And then at the end of the season, what are we getting? An all-time collapse from Air Force. And then Boise State freaking fires their coach in the middle of a conference championship season. And yet here they are, right in it. And pretty much, if they win, they're going to be in it. So I don't know, man. I want to pick Air Force so bad, and I'm rooting for Air Force. Flat out, I'm rooting for Air Force. But they have just completely fallen off. Give me the Broncos at home. I hate it. Give me the Broncos. Murph?
You got the big, emotional, uplifting win after they fired at Avalos last week. Put up 45 points. Air Force does not look good. I think we get a little flip-flop. I think Air Force comes ready to play. I think Boise State kind of simmers down a little bit. Give me Air Force. Give me the Falcons.
Wow. Tip?
Air Force has lost 3 games in a row. Boise State's looking good right now. It looks like the firing of their head coach has kind of lifted this locker room and these players up a little bit. And they're at home. It is tough to beat them at home. I'm going with Boise State. I think they win this game, and they're right back where they usually are in the Mountain West Championship game.
Tip, this could be shades of the Miami Heat circa playoff run last year. They go up 3-0. They look like Jimmy Butler. This is a team of destiny. And then the Boston Celtics win 3 straight, and you're like, this is an all-time collapse. This has never happened before. And then they come out in Game 7 and just abuse the Boston Celtics. That could happen if Air Force comes to play. And then Saturday, so loser of that Air Force Boise game's out. So they got nothing, but the winner still has to pay attention to this game and hope that UNLV wins. So UNLV -3 at San Jose State, 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Both teams red hot, dude. I mean, couldn't be a better matchup in the final game of the season. But give me the Rebels. I'm rooting for them. Something new, something different. I'm ready to see. I know I picked Boise, but I'm ready to see a UNLV Air Force Mountain West Championship game in Las Vegas.
Sin City, baby.
But give me the Rebels, and we'll see Rebels versus Boise State, and Boise State will win by 3 touchdowns in the championship game. That's what we're probably going to get. Jeff, what do you think?
I think that San Jose State has the best quarterback in the conference, and I think when you have that, you always got a puncher's shot to win the game. Shavon Cordero he does not turn the ball over. He has been great all year long. He's a dual threat guy. He doesn't look to run, but he runs when he needs to. And I think that San Jose State gets it done. It's going to be a tight game. You're going to have I hope and pray that stadium is filled and it is jumping. San Jose is not known for supporting,
I mean, they're the best team in California, aren't they?
No doubt about it. Better than those damn Trojans down south. But yeah, give me the Spartans. I think they get it done.
Did you roll your R a little bit on?
He
Cordero?
did. I noticed that.
But he's not Hispanic, is he?
I know he's Palia.
Shavon Cordero. I mean, that was pretty good. You're like, well,
actually, I don't know if he's Polynesian.
He might
just
be
went to Hawaii
mixed or something. Yeah. You like those people? Those people that go to like an Italian restaurant and they're like, I'll take the spaghetti.
No, like, get your pepe. Have you seen those videos? Tip, who you got?
Yeah, Tip, who you picking here?
Can we do a fact check real quick? Because I see this game's at UNLV.
Oh, is it?
Is that right? Am I?
I don't know. Can we? I don't know.
I got you right here.
Wow.
It is. It is Allegiant Stadium, baby.
UNLV 5-0 at
That's
home.
my fault. Now I definitely stand by my pick. UNLV
5-0
on the road
at home. But I mean, San Jose State's playing so well right now, and I think this game's going to be super close through the entire game, back and forth. It's going to be an awesome game, especially, both of these teams know what's at stake here if they win this game. I got to go with UNLV at home, though. They've looked great, and I think they have the momentum right now, and they're a desperate team, if you will. They need to win this game. So I know both teams do, but I like UNLV at home.
I like it. Sunbelt Conference, Troy is hosting, barring something absolutely wild where they lose and App State gets in and the computer rankings, but Troy's going to host. And then, so what you have, if Coastal beats James Madison, Coastal's in. They win the East outright. If Coastal loses and App State beats Georgia Southern, App State is in. If they both lose, Coastal's going to get in with a little asterisk, though. So in the interest of time, let's make it kind of quick. Deeper than hate, Georgia Southern at App State, 3:30 Saturday, ESPNU in Boone. App 9-point favorites. I don't think they cover, but I do think they win. Jeff.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close, but there might not be a hotter team in the Sun Belt than App State. Joey Aguilar's playing incredible ball right now. Give me App State.
Tip.
I agree with both of you guys. This game's in Boone, North Carolina. I think App State wins this game. Georgia Southern just hasn't played their best football on the road this year, but it is a rivalry game. I think it is going to be close. I think Georgia Southern covers the 9 points, but I think App State wins this game at home.
And that game is at the same exact time as James Madison at Coastal from Conway, ESPN2. James Madison 9-point favorites on the road. Give me the Dukes, man. Come on. Yeah, they're good, Jeff. Just admit it. They're good.
I refuse to. No, they are a good team. I never said they weren't good. But I've been saying it for the last 4 weeks, I think, on this show, that Coastal is going to beat James Madison the last game of the season, make it to the Sun Belt Championship game, and represent the East. I'm not changing now. Vasco I think he's questionable for Saturday, so that's the biggest thing that's going on right now. I have seen some reports McCall might be available. I don't know yet. We'll see if I can get some word from the inside there. But either way, give me the shots. I picked them to win the Sun Belt. They still got a shot. Let's go.
Yep.
Give me one of those home dogs on a grill,
guys.
Yep.
With some ketchup, with some mustard, and a little bit of onion on there. We're going with the home dogs in this game. We're going with Coastal Carolina. They're going to win this game. I think James Madison got exposed last week, and it's now on film.
Careful.
I mean, yeah, they're going to be pissed off about that loss, and they might come out red hot. But Coastal, I mean, they got to win this game to get in, and they can't rely on an App State loss. And they're going to be scoreboard watching. These games are at the same time. Both of these teams are going to be looking. So I'm going with Coastal Carolina to win this game.
I like it. Well, let's get to some other games just as our it ain't going to be other games. Talk about our picks for the week brought to you by Southern Roots. Jeff, do we have a Southern Roots radio commercial?
Sure do. Are you tired of listening to the same music playlist? We got just what you need. Southern Roots Radio is an audio magazine rooted in Americana, curating music, culture, and sports to a stubbornly independent audience. Go check them out at southernrootsradio.com, or you can download their app on either the Apple or Google Play Store. Southern Roots Radio. Come on in and stay a while.
So here's what we got here. Southern Roots, appreciate y'all, by the way. Lock of the week, we're taking the Cowboys of Wyoming minus 10.5 at Nevada. Wyoming's had a pretty good season. They scored a ton of points last week. Nevada's just not a very good ball club this year. Dog of the week. Needless to say, I didn't agree with this call, but we are taking a home dog, Coastal Carolina, plus 255, though. Money line at home versus James Madison. And then the over-under. We're going to take the under on Deeper Than Hate, Georgia Southern at App State, under 63.5. So Wyoming minus 10.5, Coastal plus 255, Georgia Southern, App State under 63.5. And then, as you know, if you go on Prize Picks, download the app and use our code GOFG. Go play your props. Having a tough time finding our number one receiver at 5.5 lately, but I can tell you, I had a free $20 six player prop deal that they gave me. I would have won like $600. You want to know what missed it for me? Should have known. Joel Embiid needed a block and a half. He gets me one block. And you know what the worst part about it was? You know how you're looking at it and it's got the green bars when you've hit or whatever? So I'm looking at it and it says Joel Embiid, one block. I'm thinking, okay, he needs one more block. So I literally go to the ESPN Gamecast, and the last play-by-play was blocked by Joel Embiid. And so I was like, oh, my God. I finally hit one of the big ones with a few $100. Well, that was just a delay. Thank you to ESPN. That was the block that was already registered on Prize Picks. So he finishes the game, one block. And instead of getting my $20 back, I win like $8. So, hey, man, what can you do? Jeff, how many voicemails do we have right here?
We got 10.
So I don't know. In the interest of time here, I've got an engagement I've got to do. So y'all
check
wanna...
out Sprouse. He's going on the Sea of Red podcast, which is Liberty podcast. So any of you Liberty folks, check him out in about 10 minutes. And what we'll do, Sprouse, is when you got to bounce, you just bounce. And then we'll finish the voicemails and finish.
I'm wearing a bunch of Georgia Southern gear. Are they going to be mad at me, the Liberty fans? I was so prepared for this. I didn't know it was a direct after. I was going to do a quick wardrobe change, Jeff.
You got time. Just bounce when you need to and swap out your wardrobe. You'll be all right.
Okay. All right. Let's get to the voicemails. You guys keep calling that hotline, 615-900-4286. Keep them coming, Jeff. Let's get to them.
Hey, Group of Five guys, it's Andrew here. I haven't called the past few weeks because we've turned it around. App has turned it around here in the Sun Belt, and we are just a couple wins away from getting to that conference championship, pending Coastal Carolina loss to JMU in that final week. What I want to say is that y'all might have been right. Maybe we should have given Sean Clark a little bit of time. But I still think that if we don't win conference and a bowl game, then Clark probably is going to need to go. I think for what it takes for Clark to stay is a bowl, a conference win and a bowl win. And then on my last thing, I just want to say is the team, their ability to fight adversity this season has been crazy. For that fourth quarter of the Southern Miss game, something flipped a switch in them, and it's been an amazing second half of the season. And Scott Sloan, his ability to make adjustments when he knows that the cards are down. I'm proud of Sloan. I'm proud of this team. And this is I'm calling before the JMU game. So no matter what happens with the JMU game, I'm proud of this team and getting to bowl eligibility. But I think I don't want to say we'll beat JMU, but we're going to give them a heck of a game with game day going up there. And so that's all I wanted to say is that this team has fought adversity. Sloan has made his adjustments, and we're on the right path. And if anyone's due to upset JMU, it's App State right now. And with our win streak going on, that's what I had to say. So have a good one, Group of Five guys. That's my 2 cents. Thanks for doing your show.
Appreciate it, Andrew. As always, hadn't heard from you in a little while, but I mean they ended up winning. So I think all the Fire Clark haters just need to go back in their hole and hide out. And I think they take care of business against Georgia Southern. I don't know, depending on what Coastal does, if they'll make the championship game, but I think with a young team that they've had, Clark is fine. I mean, he's done a great job this year. So
I agree, and I think the adversity this team's gone through and the turnaround that they've had towards the end of this season. I mean, these close losses, we talk about it. I mean, it's just the way the ball goes sometimes. Like you lose to North Carolina in 2 overtimes by 6 points. You lose to Wyoming on the road, a very good Wyoming team at home by 3 points. You lose to Coastal by only 3. That ball rolls a certain way. You win 2 out of those 3 games. It's a completely different season, and you've probably already locked up the East at that point. But the turnaround they've had after those close losses, I think that's one of the main reasons why Clark stays.
I agree. And as a reminder, we interviewed Clark this week, so keep an eye out for that. Probably Thursday, if I had to guess. Gives us an update. And let's get to our next one. Starts off with the JMU Fanatic. We'll see what this one's like.
Hi, fellas. JMU Fanatic here. I'd just like to say that was very upsetting. My father is a lawyer, and I will be suing App State, taking them to litigation for. Hey, fellas, fire the F up, it's your boy, App State Fanatic here. Woo! Get 2 times. Woo! That's what we do, fellas. Never in doubt. Never in doubt. When I saw Swaggy Bear jump back and forth, we'll pick JMU. I knew right then, fellas. This is what we do against ranked teams. Should have been North Carolina. Beat Texas A&M. Hell, beat Texas A&M so bad, Jimmy Fisher had to call it 5 Chino. Say, buddy, how about a fight? How about you beat my ass? It don't matter, fellas. They got rid of Jimbo. Hey, maybe that Kurt Sidnetti will go and take that job for him. He's looking good. All right. Damn you. Here's what you're going to do. You're not going to sue. That's we. This is football, fellas. Football. F-U-T-B-O-L. Accent in there, fellas. An accent. Catch my accent. All right. But if you do sue, pull some I don't know, I can't name a lawyer. Lincoln lawyer. Lincoln president. Do what you got to do. If it doesn't go through, beat Coastal for us. If not, F it. Coastal. Simple. Higher tails, baby. Beat those bastards. Let's pull through. 1-0. Hire Sean Clark. Back at Appalachian. Hey, God bless Appalachian State football. God bless Group of 5 guys, folks.
I love that guy so much.
Elite.
He's so
Elite
good.
Call. I knew right away.
Fantastic.
Oh,
I
know.
knew it right away. It was him.
Oh, that was awesome. Well, let's get to our next one. Our boy Stu's right.
Stu.
Hey, boys. Stu's right on Twitter here. Man, I love calling y'all after a win. I love calling you even more after beating a ranked team on the road. Just want to shout out all the other Sunbelt fans. You're welcome. App State came in here and took care of business.
Thank you.
Been saying it for weeks now. We're close. I hope that puts the Fire Sean Clark folks to bed. Shout out to Steeple for the voicemail he left me. Appreciate that. I hate we didn't get together while I was in Conway. Oh, man. Now we got to take care of business with Georgia Southern. We're going to need our secondary to keep playing the way they're throwing the ball. But I like our chances. I feel like we're rolling finally. Murph, appreciate the call Saturday night. Congratulations. Was much appreciated. Anyways, y'all take care. Keep an eye on that this weekend. It'll be a good one. Go Nears.
Appreciate it, Stu. Yeah, I had to call and just congratulate you. That's a huge win for that App State team.
100% it was. And he's been on the Clark bandwagon.
Yeah, he has.
He's been real about it. So, well, anyway, fellas, you guys take care of this thing. I'm going to go handle this business here over there with the Liberty folks, which, by the way, as far as I'm concerned, best team in the Group of 5. See y'all.
Handle business. All right, let's keep it going. We got a few more voicemails to get to. Our boy, resident Tulane fan, good friend Morgan.
What's up, guys? Morgan here, resident Tulane fan. I tell you what, roll wave, baby. Michael Pratt just continues to do the thing. 24-8 against FAU. It wasn't even that close. So, I don't know. This team is special, and I'm really looking forward to Friday against UTSA. 2:30, prime time, ABC. Time for this team to make another opportunity for this team to make a statement again. I mean, holy cow, we're on the doorstep of hosting another conference championship game. I can't freaking wait. This team is just really, really impressive. They find a way to win. Yes, it's been gritty at times, but you can't sit there and tell me this isn't the best Group of 5 team in the country. Number 3 rushing defense in the country. Michael Pratt continuing to do this thing. Mekhi Hughes over 1,000 yards rushing. And I'll tell you another name to watch for on Friday. Chris Brazzell, 6'5" wide receiver, just had his breakout game. He's really stepped up in the absence of Lawrence Keys and Jaquan Jackson. I think we'll get one, if not both of them, back together on Friday. So I can't wait. I'm going to be there. Roll wave, baby. Let's go 1-0 again. Peace out, fellas. Have a good holiday. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it, Morgan. Yeah, and I'm with him. I think top to bottom, Tulane is still the most impressive and just solid all the way around team. And that Chris Brazzell kid, he had a breakout game against Memphis too, I think, in that game. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to still roll with the Roadrunners on it, but it's going to be tight, man. I think it's going to be a nail-biter.
If Tulane's defense can slow down or stop Frank Harris rushing the ball, they win this game. I think it's that clear cut.
Well, that's what's been so different about this Roadrunner team as the years past too. Is they're a lot more of a running team this year on offense than they have been. So interesting to see if they change their game plan up because of that rush defense is so good for Tulane. We'll see. I think it's going to be a great game. Can't wait to watch it. All right, let's get to our boy Zach Branner.
What's up, boys? It's Zachary Brenner. Calling out again after another good win. Tough win. I knew it was going to be a dogfight till the end. It always has been. I won't say always, but more often than not, they typically are tough battles between us and UL. Shout out to Terry, brother. Thank you again for all that you do. Thank you for your service, brother. Be safe out there. But I'm really proud of the win. Now, let's switch it again. Sucks to suck cock, doesn't it, JMU fans? Oh, man. But don't worry, they'll find a way to file a petition for how you classify you score a touchdown. Although, yeah, he bobbled the ball, but, you know, the rules state clearly that all the ball has to do is cross the line. I don't know if Jamie fans can understand the rules, because I know they get conflicted on they want to file for, even though they're 0-4 when it comes to that. But they're undefeated and everything. So, but it was refreshing to see them little cocky some up there take a loss. So, other than that, happy Saturday, boys. Hope you have a great weekend. Forever and always, on Troy.
Appreciate it, Zach. Yeah. They should, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think App dropped an interception that would have sealed it in regulation right before that. But they got the win. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter how
credit to Troy to keep winning. You know, you got to be in a tough position right now. Like, you're sitting there at top of the division, and you've pretty much, you've sealed it that you're playing, and they're still out there competing and winning games. So credit to them as they travel to Southern Miss. This week should be Southern Miss hasn't been as good as we all thought they would this season. So Troy should take care of that game and be 10-2 going into the championship game.
Incredible season. Incredible. All right, let's keep it rolling. Good friend Josh Bevel down there in Statesboro.
Group of 5 guys. Oh, it's Josh Bevel here. I am quite upset, as you can imagine. Sunday morning, I'm leaving Statesboro, Georgia. I wanted to stick around all day to hang out with some buddies, but no, I'm on the road and it's 8:26 in the morning. I'm quite pissed off. But Sprouse, I loved hanging out with you, brother. I had a great time with you, dude. It was so good to see you. I wish all the other Group of 5 guys could have made it, but it's whatever. I appreciate the hoodies too, man. That was awesome. And it was so cool just, hanging out with you and getting a tailgate and all that stuff, but not how we drew up the game, but it's whatever. We need to make some adjustments. Play call was absolutely, as Swag Bear says, atrocious. It was bad. It is what it is, though. Looking forward, we got to be better. And got a couple more things. I saw my man Ford Roach yesterday. He loves listening to the Group of 5 guys. Shout out my man Ford. Love you, Ford. It was so good seeing you. You need to start calling in. Leave a couple voicemails for our good friends with the Group of 5 guys. Ford, come on now. But that's all I got. Unfortunately, hail Southern. God bless the Group of 5 guys. And damn, I still freaking love college football. See y'all.
Appreciate it, Josh. And yeah, Sprouse had an awesome time. I think we talked 3 or 4 times that day. He just kept calling me every time something else happened. So appreciate you guys taking care of him. And we'll all get down there before long.
We'll be down there soon. Yeah. There's one particular game next year. I believe it's the first game of the season. They host a team from out west, Boise State. Just saying.
Good one.
Might see us there for that game.
That'd be a good one. We'll see. All right, let's get to our boy Zach Green.
What's up, guys? Zach Green here, and I am celebrating a lot of things about this Liberty football team today. Number one, we're 11-0. This is our best start in program history, and it's still going. I mean, we've got an opportunity to get 14 wins this year. That's crazy. Definitely not taking any of them for granted, but, man, this is an awesome time to be a Flames football fan. I'm also celebrating the fact that Liberty is the only undefeated team in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Thanks to App State and Mountaineers, baby. Congratulations, Stu. I know you got to be through the moon. Still in the hunt for the conference championship. Can't wait to listen to your call. And then also, Liberty is the only undefeated team in the group of 5. So you got to think about that as well. And Liberty is one of the only undefeated teams in the country. Now, are we as good as Michigan and Georgia and all them? No, we're not. But to be in that conversation, to be in those graphics online as the only undefeated teams, that's special and that means something. And I'm just really proud to be a supporter of this football team this year. It's an exciting time to be a Flames fan, as I said. And I'm looking forward to this conference championship game on December 1st. But every week, this game continues to get bigger and bigger because the New Mexico State Aggies are coming into town, and they're 9-3. They've won 7 games in a row. They haven't lost since September. Those UMass and Hawaii losses are like ancient history. And they went into Auburn, Alabama yesterday and whooped some Tiger tail, man, 31-10. Hugh Freeze has a Jerry Kill problem. Jerry Kill right now, these last 2 years, owns Hugh Freeze, man. They go in there and dominate Auburn yesterday. And just what a win for New Mexico State. What a win for Conference USA. And also just what a win for the Group of 5. This is one of the best Group of 5 wins all season. And so now they have an opportunity to go 10-3 going into the conference championship game. And that conference championship game could be 2 double-digit win teams against each other. And all of a sudden, that conference championship game has become a really, really good matchup that I'm nervous about. I'm taking the Flames in it, but it's not going to be easy, especially not as easy as the first win was. First win wasn't super, super easy, but we beat them. We ended up pulling away and beating them by 16. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm excited about it. And Hugh Freeze just better figure out how to beat Jerry Kill, because if they ever come into contact again, I don't know how he's going to handle it. Because he's 0-2 in the last 2 years against teams that are probably more talented than them. So that just says a lot about Jerry Kill, his coaching ability, and what he's building there at New Mexico State. So, but before I go, though, I just want to point out Old Dominion. There they go, beating another Sun Belt team, giving another Sun Belt team a game. So we got to decide, Sun Belt fans, are they good or are they not? If they're good, then Liberty beating them by 28 points is a big deal. If they're not, then what does that say about the Sun Belt teams that struggle with them? So go Flames, baby. Go Group of 5. Let's go. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, Zach, as always. And, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, ODU's played a lot of teams in the Sun Belt very, very close and had a couple big wins. But couldn't be more excited for us to get up to Lynchburg for that championship game. It's going to be epic. I mean, I literally cannot wait.
It's going to be such a great game, especially with how well New Mexico State's playing right now. Like he just mentioned, like, man, it is going to be a close game. And I know Liberty's not going to look past them, but, like, they just need to be ready for them.
Yep.
But right now, though, Liberty fans enjoy this season. I mean, what an unbelievable season. And we sound like a broken record because we talk about this guy every week, but Caden Salter, man, just the way he's been playing this year, he's without a doubt your Conference USA MVP this year, playing incredible football. And like Murph just said, we cannot wait to get up there for that championship game.
Yeah, it's hard to beat the same team twice in 1 year. We'll see if they can do it. All right, we got a couple voicemails left. Let's get to our good friend Joe Judkins.
Fellas, Joe Judkins, Shalimar, Florida. Boys, we got the work done on Saturday in Troy, but it sure wasn't pretty. As they say, great teams find a ways to win even when they don't play their best, and we damn sure didn't play our best. Vidal got his 100. Solomon got 3 more sacks. So we got the job done, but the score is not indicative of how close this game was. It was much closer than the 7 points on the scoreboard. I promise you that. Louisiana came to play, and we just had to hold on and to win. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hear your Saturday pregame podcast, but I did watch it on Sunday, and I have to say, Jeff was on fire in his picks. Took New Mexico State, took money line on that. Swag, you need to pay attention to this young man. He's got it going on, I think. Now, I hear you, App. Took care of Dolly Madison Twinkies on Saturday. Now, if Coastal just does their damn job, the asterisk will no longer be required for anyone, and the Sun Belt Championship comes through Troy, as it was intended. Just what the happened in San Marcos? Did they just put the dump in dumpster fire? I'm guessing all those transfers aren't gelling like they thought. Maybe locker room issues, I don't know, but what a complete meltdown. Or maybe it came in Statesboro, Georgia when ODU came to town. In Coastal, what the happened in upstate New York? I did hear their quarterback Vasco was in concussion protocol, that something happened in practice. They're going to need somebody to help push that ball up the field on Jamie Madison if they expect to win. And Steeple _ promised they would win. So the East is a jumbled mess, and it's fun to watch. Hey, don't look now, guys, but the Group of 5 Sun Belt Conference might just have 12 eligible teams, and I think that's going to prove they're the best conference in the Group of 5 this year, without a doubt. God bless you guys. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. It's officially eating season, and no better way than to tear up some turkey, ham, taters, dressing, green bean casserole, collard greens, cornbread, pumpkin, and pecan pie. Ooh, gonna be good. Y'all have a great weekend. Good luck to all the Group of 5 teams this weekend. Go Trojans.
Appreciate it, Joe.
Making me hungry, man. God,
I know,
that sounds
man.
good.
He just listed off an entire menu right there. Got all my favorite stuff on there. Yeah, it's gonna be a great holiday weekend coming up with some big time ball games.
That's what's so awesome about
night.
it. You know, I mean, not only do you have a ton of, you got 3 NFL games on Thursday and 1 on Friday this year, but the amount of Group of 5 football games going on this weekend too, cannot wait. That's going to be awesome. And we didn't talk about this earlier, and he mentioned it on that call. Arkansas State, 77 points.
Good Lord.
Oh my gosh. And hey,
I don't
congrats to
know what
Arkansas
happened.
State. Talk about turnarounds this season. Win
Yeah.
their 6th game of the year and become bowl eligible. Congratulations.
Yeah, good for them, man. Good for old Butch. As much as I didn't like him at Tennessee, I'm happy he's doing something at Arkansas State. All right, let's finish the show off. We got, normally they don't play 2, but Steeple gets the pass. Let's go with our boy Steeple PC _51.
Hey, Group 5 guys, how you doing? Steeple _PC _51. Okay, I'm not so much into moral victories. I have said that before. The loss to Army, devastating, somewhat embarrassing, but very good scheme. Something they didn't run all year long. They went to the triple option, which is very difficult to defend, especially as far as the linebackers, and you bring down your safety. And, you know, they go 10 games throughout and, you know, never even done it, even when they was getting their ass blown out by LSU. So, you know, I can't really fault them. We hung in there. We made some mistakes, special team wise, you know. So all phases of the game wasn't clicking. So, but those are really coachable moments, and never gave up the fight. All right. So on to the next one. King Richard and his crown. Grant, I hope you calling. I hope you calling to make up the excuse of at the end zone or whatever. Man, y'all got a reality check. We were saying, and I say we, I'm talking about Jeff and Steeple.
That's right.
Was saying, oh, of course, Stu, Wood, all them guys from App State kept telling y'all asses that, yo, App State was on fire. They were coming. They brought the heat, and JMU ass got out that kitchen quickly. But I digress. I don't even want that. I know y'all gonna talk about the way to the East Championship. There's only one way that I believe. Coastal Carolina is gonna have to beat JMU ass. Yes. There's nothing around. Fuck all that other shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Man.
I missed that one.
There's only one route. Man up, win that game. Don't have no extras by your victory. Just tell everybody that we knew we would have to meet them at the end. We knew we were coming back. I circled on my calendar from day one, if y'all remember. Replay the tape. I told you JMU, Coastal Carolina was coming for that ass, and we are coming. We coming. I am not going to eat crow because I know we're going to be there. I know. SP15 is going to break the record. 27 more yards. He's going to break the record. He's going to get another record to extend the NCAA consecutive games. They are going to whoop JMU ass. I know we only allocated 3 minutes, but there is just some extras I have to say, okay? One, y'all know I was pulling for App State, okay? I'm wondering, is App State pulling for Coastal this week? I can guarantee you that's a damn no. I can guarantee you. Man, it's still cool. I called him to congratulate him. But is he part of a Coastal? Because he knows Coastal win. They won't win the East. 2, Bear, Sprouse. I know Jeff is your boy, but y'all need to apologize on national TV and tell y'all sorry for not trusting his instincts. He told y'all that Coastal was going to be there. Sprouse, you met me face to face. You saw it in my eyes, and you didn't believe in me. See you in Coastal. See you in Conway. Because them Coastal Carolina Chanticleers is coming. Next after JMU, Troy, y'all asses on.
I love Steeple, man.
Fantastic call. That was awesome.
That's going to be another great game. I think Coastal's going to be ready to play. I mean, they've been playing good football. I know the Army win, they didn't look great, but like he said, I playing a triple option team is just a different animal. They knew that game didn't really mean anything.
That's
so
exactly
I don't
right.
think they were going to spend a lot of time game planning for Army, but
and you don't want to put a lot out there on film, right?
That's very true.
Like you want to keep it very basic. That's not a conference game. Like that game meant nothing.
Yep.
What you do is exactly what Steeple said. You watch the film, you look for the mistakes that happen in that game, you correct those mistakes, and you use that as motivation for this next game. Yep. Huge game, must-win game. Like he said, don't worry about they're going to be scoreboard watching, but don't pay attention to that App State game that's going on at the same time. Go take care of business and beat James Madison at home.
Yep. Win and you're in. No asterisks. So,
right.
Appreciate you guys calling in. Keep them coming. We love to hear from you guys. And that was our last call. If you like the show, give us a follow on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe. We need all the help that we can get. Appreciate you guys checking in. We were off Saturday. We would not have a show Saturday. So we will see you guys next Tuesday. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Appreciate you guys for all the support that you give us. And got some great games this weekend. We'll see you then.
Happy Thanksgiving. Watch a lot of football. Eat a lot of food.
Got it. We're out.